Welcome to the Social Plunge,
your blueprint for plumbing and HVAC businesses' social media optimization. With your marketing masterminds, Stephen and Michelle.
Welcome back, listeners, to your favorite plumbing and HVAC social media optimization podcast. Michelle here with my co-host, Steve.
Hey, Michelle, what's going on?
And today we're going to talk about Google Plus optimization and pretty much go into detail about how Google Plus can make or break your social media marketing strategy. Before we go into that, we want to have our first news flash. Take it away, Steve.
So, in today's news flash, pretty much talks about Google Plus. It's a news update. It's about how this social platform is going to be broken up, and it's not necessarily bad for this, but it's actually going to be good because it's going to serve the purpose better for its specific clientele. Now, what the newsflash has to do is that it's going to be broken up into different sections. Now, Google Plus was mainly successful with their photos, the Hangouts, which are instant messaging, online phone calls, FaceTiming, and email. Now, it's going to be broken up into these two sections mainly because those were the main successful. Because now with Google Plus, it's mainly trying to verge into that Facebook feel where it has the about us, reviews, things like that of that nature. And of course, you don't have to worry about your reviews. Your reviews will still be logged in as far as having a place when you search that. But in regards to that, it's going to also have streams. A lot of people were worried about, am I going to be able to still post? And yes, you are going to still be able to post. And what the great thing about this is, those streams are going to be searchable better in the Google algorithm. So that was pretty much the news flash of the day. Google Plus is going to be broken down, not necessarily a bad thing, but actually it might help, Michelle, with the search. You know what? When we talk about putting the RSS feed for our Facebook users, we took off that block of text, because on Facebook, obviously, it's irrelevant. But for Google Plus, it's searchable.
Definitely. The thing that made Google Plus so unique before it essentially failed was that it was based on communities. So you had your circles, and everything you posted to your circles, instead of necessarily being about sharing with your friends or one individual or another. So Facebook really took this and made a bigger success of it because so many people were already on Facebook when Google Plus rolled out. But now the interesting thing that Google is doing is they're rolling out the streams. They recently released Google Collections, which is sort of like Instagram hashtags, if you will, but a little different. You can find people that are posting images of things you're interested in, and Google will sort of automatically place them in different kinds of collections. Like engineering will have, engineering related images,
of course,
and so on and so forth.
And that's going to make it even better for user and viewer capabilities. You were saying linking, when people search engineer or stuff like that, it's going to go with the photos.
Definitely. Google is always looking for the next new thing. And I think as far as social networking goes, it's something that hasn't been done. And I think that's what they're going to be focused on. That sort of trying to get people to connect based on a certain interest, which is why Google Plus is so essential for marketing your business, especially if you are a contractor. If you're a service contractor with Google Collections, you have the opportunity to post pictures of your successes, a beautiful bathroom remodel, for example, and really sort of get in touch with potential customers and just sort of build a community around what you can do. And that's really excellent. Aside from that, Google Plus is definitely something you want to have optimized because of SEO. It definitely affects your SEO. Google always puts favor in its own products. So naturally, if you have a Google Plus page and if you're signed into Google Plus, you're more likely to see things on your feed that are from Google Plus directly. So you may want to make sure that you're posting to this regularly, that you have an account. And plus ones are more important than likes. They're more important than shares. They're more important for SEO than any other social network interaction. So you definitely want to make sure you have a community and you're getting those plus ones, because it really does affect your rank.
Yeah, and not only will Google Plus page for your business make you look more competitive, I think the Google Plus account is that defining factor of a legitimate business, a legitimate place, because Google is the number one search engine as far as people typing in where to go, what places to look for, what services to search. They are going to use Google, and in Google we have everything is involved. We have our emails in Google. We have our Google Drives with documents. I mean, everything is involved with Google, and it would just help your presence and identity as a business, because it, like Michelle was saying, it's gonna help your search visibility.
Yeah, not to mention maps and locations. Having a Google Plus profile picture sort of sets you apart from any other business on the list.
Yeah, I think that's more important than actually having, a legitimate, cover photo for your Facebook.
Definitely,
you know what I mean?
Definitely. People, if you have the right kind of picture, you can really draw attention to yourself. If you have a very personable, image of one of your workers doing an excellent job at one thing or another, I think that it can really strike a great chord with a potential customer who's looking at plumbers in their area and looking at a map.
So with Google Plus, you're able to have a review page as well. And that's also going to increase ranking, because with, the Social Plunge podcast, we encourage everybody to write reviews, because it actually moves us up in the rankings as far as for instance, in the marketing and social media department of things in the podcast world, we ranked 42 in the news and noteworthy section. So, I mean, reviews is a huge thing to increase your rankings and decrease your visibility. And there's 343 million active accounts on Google Plus, and 68% of searches are conducted on Google. Wouldn't you want your company on that playing field? Everything you post on Google Plus is going to be indexed by Google.
Absolutely. It's so important to at least have a presence, and it's also really important to post regularly. The wonderful thing about this is that depending on how you're creating posts, if you're using Hootsuite, as we mentioned in previous episodes, or something similar, it's really easy to sort of take the content that you're posting on Facebook or Twitter and include it on Google Plus at the very least. Naturally, it's more effective if you had things tailored to Google Plus, because it is a little different, and we'll get more into that later in the episode. Just having that regular posting schedule can affect your search rankings, so that's really good to have.
And design too. I mean, make sure that you have your cover photo of the business place. Make sure that you have, like, Michelle was saying, profile images of your employees, and keep it consistency, but don't be overzealous with your postings. You want to make sure that things are staying active. You're being an active user with the platform. The same goes for, with your Facebook scheduling. Yeah. We always, when we post for our clients here at Plumbing and HVAC SEO, we schedule amongst Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus is in the mix of things.
It's so important for your marketing strategy to be present everywhere. Presence is everything. So with that, we want to also emphasize that you should have a complete profile. And this goes for any social network and any online profile in general. The more complete your profile, the more effective that your presence is on that platform.
All that text is pretty much indexed.
Exactly, yeah. So you want to make sure that you take advantage of the story section of Google, which is a unique kind of thing. It allows you to post links, unlike some other social networks, and you really want to make it really provocative, because when it comes up in the search results, your page overall, this will show up as the meta description. So you want to make sure that you treat your story section less as an about me and more as a meta description. You want it to be short, sweet, to the point, and very provocative and interesting. Aside from that, you also want to make sure that the first 50 characters in all the posts that you're posting is provocative as well, because in the search feeds, that comes up as a title. So it'll show up bolded, which you can bold letters aside from that as well on Google Plus. It has a lot of interesting capabilities with text that no other social network has, but it's really essential that the first 50 characters aren't just part of your post like they are on Facebook or Twitter, but that they're treated as a title, because that's how they'll come up. These are called the Magic 50. So remember the Magic 50, pay attention to them, really hone in your creative skills to make sure this is a complete title for every single post. That's definitely a unique thing that you want to make note of.
And I think when we talk about the different platforms of social media and the different terms and conditions, you can get lost in translation with Facebook's terms and conditions, because Google Plus has different, not even just rules, but just kind of a different strategy and a different scope of things to look upon how you're going to get your content out there. And how you, to be honest with you, when you use Google Plus, you're not using it for engagement per se, as far as somebody commenting or being engaged in that post. But you know, you're kind of looking for it to be active. Like if someone were to search you in Google and come you up in places and click your specific page, they see you have an active user. You got somebody that was on the job during that week, or in a picture, you know?
Definitely, yeah. You want to sort of treat your Google Plus posts kind of like you treat your blog in that sense. Pretty much. Because it's going to be more searchable than anything else, as I said earlier. But you also want to include keywords. Mm-hmm. So, if you have a certain link back to your website, you want a keyword in those first magic 50 characters so that it can show up as a title and it can get users to your site in the most effective way possible from Google+. So there are a lot of little details like that are super unique to Google+ and that make it a more interesting platform in some ways to market your business.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of you plumbing and HVAC companies out there have a YouTube channel, and you're using YouTube to get your video advertising out there. And YouTube and Google, or actually Google owns YouTube. So when you create a YouTube account, it completely goes into creating an email or a Gmail account, as far as, and it's going to make it easier to link your Google Plus with your YouTube channel, promoting your ads through Google Plus, making it even more searchable on Google. That's just going to increase your leverage you to get your specific ads out.
Definitely. And speaking of video content, Google Plus uniquely has a great approach to multimedia content. So you can make really, really long posts on Google Plus that you can't do on any other social platform. You can essentially write entire blog posts on Google Plus. You can also almost upload any type of image file, including GIFs, to Google Plus.
Yeah, I actually recently posted a GIF for one of our clients. I thought that was pretty cool. We've never actually done that before. We've never posted a GIF. While we were doing this research before this podcast, we figured we'd give it a try.
It got really great engagement because it's something different. It's more fun. GIFs give you an opportunity to do something a little bit lighthearted
and different too,
and more humorous than the average kind of stock photo,
right? Of course,
something like that. They're also really easy to find and share. You can go on GIF really fast, download a GIF of your choice depending on your brand style. There are some serious GIFs even that are kind of instructional, so those are pretty cool. And you can quickly just click add photos on your status bar, and right there you'll be able to upload that file and select the circles you want to share it to on Google Plus, and it'll automatically show up in your feed as a GIF. So it's very simple. There's nothing special you need to do, and it's the same for video content. It's a really great platform for that kind of thing.
So we're pretty much trying to literally preach to you, if you have a Facebook, if you have a Twitter, if you have a YouTube channel, there is no reason why you should not have a Google Plus account. It's going to increase your visibility on Google. If you obviously have a website, you obviously have people trying to search you and trying to get in touch with you for your services. So why not create that leverage and get yourself the Google Plus account? It's free.
Absolutely. And one more thing that I forgot to mention earlier, you want to make sure that you're posting to community pages on Google. Because I did mention that Google Plus is different in that it's about circles of people and building communities. So you want to make sure that when you're posting onto Google Plus, especially if you're a new member and you're just starting out, you're making your Google Plus page, you want to be involved with people in the kinds of communities that you're going to want to make sales in. So think about real estate professionals, think about property management companies, and so on and so forth, schools, large businesses in your area, things that are definitely going to be needing your services. You're going to want to connect with them. You're going to want to post on those community pages, become part of their circles, and grow your Google Plus page that way. Because unlike Facebook and Twitter, it's a little more difficult to get people in your circles.
Yeah, and it's different. It's a different way to do it on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter, you're engaging in conversations, and,
Exactly,
then on Facebook, you're engaging in groups.
Yeah,
This one, you're
exactly.
actually getting in within communities and with actually businesses.
Yeah. So you definitely want to expand your circle that way and really treat it like you network in real life. I think Google is a true to life networking site in that, it's all about who you know on Google Plus, who's in your circle, and then who's in their circle. So you can really make very influential contact on Google Plus.
Yep. Couldn't have said it better.
And so with that, that's the end of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please remember to subscribe to us on iTunes. We've got great stuff coming up for you all. Until next time.